Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving straight into Judge Anzalone's courtroom to see what happens when sovereign citizens run into a real victim. You know, the kind of person who actually suffered from their schemes. Spoiler alert, things go downhill fast. We watch as their excuses crumble, their arguments fail, and the reality of the law hits hard. No loopholes, no tricks, just the cold truth. By the end, it's clear a lengthy prison sentence is looming. Stick around, because this is one courtroom showdown you don't want to miss.
I can actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison.
So let's begin.
Mr. Musgrove, you want to come up to the podium, please. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Joseph Musgrove, file number 23-21461FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Musgrove. Mr. Dagger Margosian might, oh, there he is. So, Mr. Dagger Margosian, this is a date and time set for pre-trial in this matter. Mr. Musgrove said that he was appearing on his own behalf. I did verify he is not an attorney, and you are still the attorney of record. So, Mr. Dagger Margosian, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, Your Honor, I am aware that Mr. Musgrove wants to present information to the court. I'm happy to be standby counsel if he wants to represent himself. Obviously, this court would have to go through the colloquy of that, but obviously it's Mr. Musgrove's legal right to at least ask the court to do that. So I'm here to observe at this point.
All right. So, Mr. Musgrove, when you were at the bench or up at the podium before, you said that you were appearing on behalf of yourself. So, Mr. Musgrove, are you asking to no longer have counsel represent you?
Well, what I'm understanding is that the courts is a private for-profit.
So, Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name. Of course.
None of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom. I have jurisdiction over you.
Oh, that's rough. The judge isn't buying any of your all-caps theatrics. It's a shame more sovereign citizens don't make it to Judge Anzalone's courtroom. She has zero patience and no appetite for soft, tedium-filled word salad. When the theatrics start, she shuts it down immediately. Excuses crumble, arguments fail, and the reality of the law hits hard. No loopholes, no tricks, just cold, unfiltered justice. The courtroom isn't a stage, it's a reckoning. By the end, it's clear a lengthy prison sentence is coming. Stick around, because this showdown is brutal, fast, and unforgettable.
So,
I tried to file paperwork with the clerk's office ahead of time so that you would have time to review it, and they denied me.
I know what you're talking about. None of that is valid under the law of the state of Michigan or the Constitution of the United States of America.
What do you mean it is?
No.
The Supreme Court says it is.
What does it say it is?
The Supreme Court says that if we were at the age of 18, we were supposed to claim our minor status.
Nope, not valid.
Okay.
So here's what I would say to you. Mr. Dagger Margosian is, like most of our public defenders, exceptional attorneys and very well versed in the law and very experienced. He gives legal advice. You may not like the legal advice, but it's usually good advice. I've never had anyone from the public defender's office not wholeheartedly try to represent their clients. So what you are talking about is not valid, and it is not going to get you out of this case. You're not going to be able to say all those things because it's not valid.
Everyone involved in this court case has a financial interest in the case.
I don't have a financial interest in your case. I get paid by the state of Michigan, whether you plead, whether it gets dismissed. I don't make any money off you.
She's not wrong, and when you really stop to think about it, the only person with a real financial stake in this case is the defendant. After all, it's tough to make money when you're spending decades behind bars. Every argument, every stunt, every sovereign trick doesn't pay the bills. It just costs time. The courtroom doesn't reward theatrics or word games. The law doesn't bend for ego or ideology. Reality doesn't negotiate. The judge sees straight through the nonsense. The consequences are real, unavoidable, and long-lasting. By the end, it's clear who truly loses in this scenario. And spoiler alert, it's not the court.
We have budgets. The court system is not a profit-generating revenue. We are here to represent people so that people who are charged with crimes are protected, people who are victims of crimes are protected, and that's why we have all
But in
these.
order for there to be a crime, there has to be a victim. There is no.
Well, there is a victim in this case
The victim
because
would be the company. and the
you are
company-
charged.
I can't face. the
Actually,
company.
just hold on. So your crime that you are charged with, which you are innocent as of this time, let me grab the right file, is failure. Oh, this is let me see. This is an embezzlement charge. So you are charged in count one with embezzlement 50,000 or more, but less than 100,000. That being an agent, servant, or employee of Hardwoods of Michigan Industries did convert to your own use without the consent of your employer or principal, industrial tools and equipment in the amount of $68,938.40 or money or equipment. And that's a 15-year felony. So if you are found guilty by a jury, you can go to prison for up to 15 years.
Last time I checked, embezzlement was still a crime, and it's one with a clear victim. But that's not all. There's more to unpack. Every scheme, every shortcut, every sovereign citizen trick adds up. The people harmed aren't imaginary. They feel the loss, the chaos, and the damage. Meanwhile, the defendant thinks they can play games with the law. Spoiler, they can't. The courtroom doesn't reward creativity in breaking rules. Judge Anzalone cuts through the nonsense like a knife. The consequences are real, and the victim isn't going away. By the end, the truth lands hard, and someone is going to pay for it.
You're charged in count two with using a computer to commit a crime. To facilitate the charge in count one, that carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison. And the way the statute's set up, I can actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison. So the victim that's alleged in this would be that business.
Right, and I can't face that accuser because that business can't get on the stand for me to ask questions, and a third party.
But their
can't stand
representative
it.
can. Yes, they can. Yes,
They
they
can?
can. Yes, they
Okay.
can.
And the judge is right again. In fact, while watching court videos, it's easy to see a pattern. People start their own business, convert it to an LLC, and then suddenly realize that once they get sued, the corporation has to have a lawyer because it's treated as its own legal person. Meanwhile, the defendant thinks they can outsmart the system. Spoiler, they can't. Judge Anzalone is about to remind this guy that he's the dumbest person in the room. No theatrics, no word salad, no loopholes, just cold, hard legal reality. The courtroom doesn't care about your ego or your business tricks. By the end, the consequences hit hard. And yes, someone's about to pay dearly for thinking they could play smart.
So I have $189,000 of student loan debt that was forgiven to be a lawyer. You do not. And Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Isaac Sneed, all of the attorneys here went to law school to know the law, and their job is to advise you of the law. So
Yeah,
yes, they
they're-
can. Yes,
They're
you
going
can
by
be charged.
everything, all the
can't-
laws and statutes that you guys go by
Are
for
legal.
corporations. They're for fictitious.
Still a crime. Still a crime.
But I'm not
Still a
a fictitious
crime.
corporation, I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why you're standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be dismissed.
Yeah, the all caps name is that.
That means nothing. That's not valid. It's
Okay.
not legal.
right.
So, do you want to represent yourself, or do you want to have an attorney to represent you?
I need some time to think.
Okay, so I'm going to set this for another pretrial on March 20th at 8:30 in the morning. And Miss Adams, could I get a notice of hearing for Mr. Musgrove?
All right, that's a wrap for this video, but it's only the beginning. Looks like we got another hearing in just a couple of weeks. This sovereign citizen may have tried to change his status to on the land, but he stepped off his metaphorical canoe and straight into a river of __. If you enjoyed watching this train wreck unfold, hit that like button. If not, hit dislike. Either way, don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss any of my courtroom chaos coverage.